Are you looking for a travel trailer that's under 20 feet long, easy to tow, easy to set up? Well, stick around, folks. We found some awesome campers that are under 20 feet long. Hey everybody, Mike from RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I make tons of videos all about RVing, and we invite you to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you do, so that you'll be notified every single week when we release a brand new video. We also invite you to check out our website at RVBlogger.com, where we have hundreds of helpful articles all about RVing as well. But without any further ado, let's get started on our review of travel trailers under 20 feet long. This travel trailer is the Little Guy Micro Max CT. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 1,860 pounds, a very impressive cargo carry capacity of 1,640 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,500 pounds. The hitch weight is just 260 pounds. It measures in at 15 feet 11 inches long, and it can sleep 2 people. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side, you'll find the bathroom and single dinette. Then we wrap on around through the kitchen area, and finally we're back here in the living area, sleeping area, and dinette. Well, when you first walk into this travel trailer, well, I guess you know it's a teardrop, right? It's got the low ceiling height and it drops on the two ends, but it also has a really great fit and finish in here. These are super high quality models. We think they're really, really fantastic. Now on my left-hand side here, I guess you kind of start with the kitchen area, right? Because the microwave oven is mounted right here. Down below that, you've got a little bit of open storage with this cargo netting. Plus you can reach in from the end here. And then you've got all of your controls, your radio controls, your fuses, and down below, even more storage. Now, straight across from the entry door is where you'll find the kitchen area. And first of all, you've got this really neat sink setup. It's got a cover on top, which gives you more countertop space. But when you lift the cover, then you've got this really creative dish drain design. And then when you pop these out, there you go. You've got a little single bowl sink in here, so you can wash your dishes, wash your hands, whatever you need to do. Now over top, it's got this really good sized gooseneck faucet. It does have a separate sprayer that you can pull down and wash your dishes. So that's a very nice feature. And then right next to that, we have a 2-burner propane stove. Now in this particular case, I really do wish they took the burners and turned them front to back and got a smaller stove in here, because that would give you more countertop space between your cooktop and your sink. And I just feel like, you know, it really needs a little bit more countertop space in here. Now down below your cooktop is where your refrigerator is located, and it's a small compact fridge, but it does have a separate place where you can make some ice cubes. Now down below your kitchen sink is another cabinet that opens up, and as you can see, you have lots of storage underneath there. This false drawer here is just an access panel to underneath of the cabinetry to get into some of the electronics in the unit. One more thing to note, in the kitchen over my shoulder here is a little bit more open storage area above your 2-burner stove. So just next to the kitchen sink area, there is a small single dinette up here in the front of this camper. You could use this as a little workstation or whatever. Now, the reason I'm holding the dinette table is because we're at an RV show, and the little pole that connects from the table to the fitting on the wall, we can't seem to find it. I guess the dealer must have taken the support posts and hidden them so they don't get lost from people walking through the RVs and moving them around. But anyway, you would have a table here that you could use. Now to my left, you've got a couple of cup holders up here. You also have a receptacle, USB ports, and a 12-volt charger port up here. So if you wanted to sit here and use this as a workstation, everything's here that you need for your computer or any other electronics that you have. And the other thing to point out is that you've got this extra countertop space up here, and since there's not really a receptacle around the kitchen counter area itself, if you wanted to set up a coffee pot or a toaster oven or anything along those lines, you could plug it in right here and make use of that area as well. One last feature to note up here in the kitchen area is this drawer that pulls out from underneath of the dinette seat. Now it actually pulls out this way, and then you can pull it over this way, I guess just to have better access to it. I really don't know why they've designed it to slide two ways, but it's kind of neat, worth showing. Now here I am in the back of this camper, and this area actually has three different uses. First of all, it's set up as a couple of comfy couches back here, and they're nice and big and spacious. I mean, you could easily sit 4 people back here nice and comfortably, but it's really meant for 2. It also serves as your dinette. And just like in the front of the camper, the post that connects from the table to the dinette bench below me is, we can't seem to find it. I'm sure the dealer moved it. But anyway, your dinette would sit back here, and 2 people could easily enjoy sitting here and having dinner together. Now, the third function for this area is that it also sets up as a nice big bed back here. But before I set up the bed and show you how that works, I just want to point out a couple features back here. First of all, the unit does have an air conditioning unit, which is mounted down below. So it's a really weird spot for an air conditioner. I've never seen one mounted like that before, but it's out of the way and it'll blow into the camper, and it'll certainly keep you nice and cool. Another thing to note is that underneath each of the dinette booths, there is just a little bit of storage under there that you can have access to on both sides. And then at the very back of the camper, these little doors slide back and forth, and you can access some additional storage all the way across the back behind these little doors. One more thing to note is that the TV is mounted just behind where the microwave was when we walked in from the front door, and so that's a great spot. You can take the TV and pull it out at an angle, so if you're laying here in bed or sitting here on the couch, you can watch TV back here and enjoy a little quiet time. One last thing to point out is that there is an outlet down here below the dinette bench, and that's a great feature to have back here, because that way when you go to bed at night or you're sitting back here in the evening and you want to break out your laptop or charge your phone, you have access to plug in anything that you need to. Now I've gone ahead and lowered the dinette table and moved all the cushions from the sofa position into the bed position, and when you do that, you end up with a RV or short queen size bed, which is 76 inches by 60 inches wide. Now, I think I mentioned at the beginning of this tour that there is a bathroom in here, and it's located under this countertop right here. This just pops up, folds on back. This door pops out. This one pops open, and you have a cassette toilet right here for your convenience. Now, you're going to want to make sure, I guess, you're in your camper by yourself when you're using the bathroom, or hey, if it's late at night, you need to get up, use the restroom, at least you have one inside your camper. Now, there's a couple features outside of this camper that are really cool as well. There's a mount here for a TV that you could put right on the side of your camper. You also have some speakers out here to get a nice sound going. And then, of course, you have a receptacle out here to plug in, and you have USB or HDMI and a cable outlet. And finally, you could even mount a little table out here, because there's another spot where you can grab the small dinette table from inside and mount it outside the door. This camper trailer is the Aliner Grand Escape ST. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of just 1,700 pounds, cargo carry capacity of 800 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 2,500 pounds. The hitch weight is just 225 pounds. It measures in at 14 feet long, and it can sleep 2 people. When you first walk into this travel trailer, you walk right into the kitchen area on your left, and on your right-hand side is where the bathroom is located. In the back of this camper, which is really the front of this camper, this is where your bed, dinette, and living area are located. Now, when you first walk in here, I felt right away, and Susan did too when we walked in here, we haven't seen this camper before, but it has a very efficient use of space going on in here. I mean, it's got a good feel. It's less than 15 feet long. So it's got everything you need in a very small and compact space. Now, first of all, on your left-hand side when you walk in, this is where your kitchen is located. Up top here, you've got a microwave oven. And then next to that, you've got some storage space, and then even more open storage to the right of that. And then on top of your kitchen countertop, you've got a 2-burner stove, and the lid pops down so you can use this as extra countertop space. And then, of course, you have your sink here with your flip-up faucet, a decent-sized sink, and it works well because you can put the top down and create more countertop space that way as well. I also want to note on the right-hand side here is a receptacle, so you can plug in if you want to put a coffee pot or toaster up here, anything like that. Now, you do have a drawer in here, and then there's another cabinet down below that for some additional storage. And then the refrigerator is located right here as well. And although it's small and on the compact side, oops, here we go, you can pull this down and that'll get you to the part of the freezer where you can make some ice cubes. Now here I am sitting at the dinette table that's in here, and 2 people could easily sit across from each other and enjoy a meal. You've got your little TV right here so you can watch a little bit of TV and relax. And then to the left of me on each side, there is a storage cabinet so you can stow away some of your clothes and belongings. Now in this cabinet, there's also a receptacle and a couple of USB ports, but you'd have to run the cables out and sort of close your door on the cables. So if it was me, I'd probably drill a little hole up through here and put a grommet in there, and then I can pull my cables through, keep it nice and neat, and have access to electricity or USB ports, because I would probably be using the kitchen table as my workspace. Now, you can also convert this. It's the way it's set up now, it's kind of like twin beds in here. One person sleeps there, one person sleeps here. Your feet go underneath of this cabinet and your head would be up here. And that way you can lay in bed in the evening, watch TV, and relax. Now, the other thing that you can do is these are actually set up like gaucho beds. So you would simply pull this bottom forward. I'm not going to remove the table and all that. This side does the same thing. It pulls in, and then you set up all your cushions and you make one gigantic bed in here. So if you did that, you would end up with a space that is about 77 inches long and, gosh, about 72 inches wide. So it would kind of be considered like a short king bed in here. It's really a big, spacious area. If you leave it set up in the twin bed format, you would each have about just under 2 feet for your side of the twin bed. So I would imagine most folks are going to pull these together to make a nice big king size bed in here. Now, if you don't know what a gaucho bed is, I suggest you head on over to RVBlogger.com. Hit the little search magnifying glass up in the corner and type in the word gaucho, and you'll find our article called What is a Gaucho Bed? You can learn all about that. It's a very popular setup, especially in camper vans, but some smaller travel trailers make use of the same style of bed. So here I am in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower because the bathroom and the shower are all one and the same in this travel trailer. This is considered a wet bath. What a wet bath is you've got your shower and your commode all in one room, and the entire floor is your shower base. So when you take a shower in here, everything gets wet, and then you need to kind of dry up the bathroom a little bit before you want to, use your toilet after, during the daytime or whatever. We have some friends that have a casita camper, and she actually sets a fan up in her bathroom, and that way after she's done taking a shower, the fan keeps the air blowing and everything sort of just dries up on its own. Now, as you guys know, I'm 5'11", and I can't even stand up straight in here. It's a pretty big step up into the shower. I would guess, about a 12-inch step up, but the shower's a good 8 or 9 inches off the floor. And so it really impacts your head height in here. So your total head space inside the shower is only 5 feet 8 inches. So if you're taller than that, like I am, I'm 5'11", you've got to crouch down in here a bit. But when you're in here, you'll notice that really all you have is a shower sprayer. It's a very basic setup. And when you're sitting on the commode in here, there you go. There's no elbow room. It's just basics, but it gets the job done, that's for sure. One more detail to note about the Aliner toilet in this model: this is a cassette toilet. This travel trailer is the Forest River Cherokee Wolf Pup model number 14cc. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 2,884 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 1,016 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,900 pounds. It has a hitch weight of 400 pounds and it measures in at 19 feet 3 inches long, and it can sleep up to 3 people. When you first walk into this travel trailer, you'll notice you're walking in from the back of the trailer instead of the side. It's a very interesting setup, and it also leads to another really cool feature, which is the bathroom area, which is located on each side of the entry door. One side has the shower, the other side has the toilet. It's kind of a great setup. Susan likes that kind of setup because one person can be taking a shower and the other person can use the bathroom if they need to. Once you get past that area, you come right into the kitchen area, and then behind me here is where your bed is located. So here we are towards the front of this trailer, and like I mentioned, this is where the bed is located. This is called an east-west bed because it goes sideways. North-south beds run this way. Now, some cool features about the bed are that it's got a headboard on one side. It has individual reading lights there, so if one of you is reading in bed or both of you, you can turn them on, turn them off as you like. There's also a receptacle here by the head of the bed, so you can plug in and keep your devices charged overnight. Finally, there are windows on each side of the bed, so you can get some cross ventilation in here, and then you also have some lights over top that you can turn off and turn on right at the light location. In addition to that, you've got some storage over top behind these beautiful cabinets. Everything's a nice, rich, dark wood in here. It makes it look really nice and luxurious, so I really like that a lot. Now, underneath of this bed, I'll lift it up, and there's a ton of storage underneath, and you can also access this from one of the storage side doors on the side of the camper. Why don't I go ahead and measure the bed now? So the length of this bed is 74 inches, and it is a full 60 inches wide, so it would be considered a short queen RV style bed. Now here we are at the kitchen location in here, and the kitchen looks really great. Again, that dark wood cabinetry just looks fantastic. This is what we would call an inline kitchen because all of your appliances and fixtures are all in one line. Starting from the top here, you'll notice you've got a very good sized storage cabinet up top. Then you've got a regular microwave oven up top. Down below you have a 2-burner cooktop, and I like the way they've stacked it from front to back instead of side to side because that allows the sink to be more in the center, and it's a very nice sized sink, by the way. It's a big, deep, round single bowl sink. And it's got a very nice gooseneck faucet with an integral sprayer built in, which is fantastic. Now this has a feature I've never seen in a trailer before, and it's got a hand sanitizing station. So I guess underneath you can screw a bottle of hand sanitizer up and then just put it on your hands and sanitize your hands. I don't know. I would rather just buy a bottle and keep it up here. Like,
I wonder if you could put hand soap in there.
I guess you could put hand soap in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you could use either, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would think.
There you go. All right, and then as we move across, you have a good amount of countertop space in here. If you wanted to put a coffee pot or toaster here, you could easily plug it into the receptacle right next door. Now, below all that, you've got a couple of cabinet doors that open, and you've got some storage underneath of the countertop and underneath of the sink. As we move on down the kitchen, we come to the refrigerator. This is a huge refrigerator for a smaller camper this size. It's got a huge freezer, very good size fridge. It also is a 12-volt refrigerator, which means that it runs on battery or shore power. The advantages are that it has a compressor style motor in it, so it will get cold much faster. It's very efficient. And when you're traveling on the road, especially if you're on a long trip, the battery will keep your refrigerator running so all your food stays cold. If you had one of the older propane style refrigerators and you're traveling, you have to make the choice at that point. Are you going to leave your propane on while you're traveling, which could be dangerous, or turn off the propane, which means your fridge is not staying cold while you're traveling? Anyway, just a couple things to think about with refrigerators. Now, just across from the kitchen is where the dinette is located. And up top here, you'll notice you've got all your controls here. I don't know if you noticed or not, but this just clicked on when I waved my hand by it. It's got a motion sensor here, so at nighttime, if you're in here and you are in front of it and you need to get to your controls, the panel lights up, which is a really great feature. I wish we had that in our RV too, but it's a terrific feature so you can see things. Now, you've got a big cabinet space above here. What I'm not really crazy about is that the door is just on a hinge, so you have to hold the door while you reach in here and grab things. A lot of these style doors we see, it's got a little hinge that'll hold it in place when you open it, but for some reason they didn't do that. You can always buy that style hinge and add it to the door on your own. It'll just cost a couple dollars and 4 screws, and you got it all set up. Down below that, we've got a light here to light up your dinette table that you can turn on and off right at the source. And then you've got a nice big window here to see out to the campsite. Now, one other thing I want to point out is that we always like to have a receptacle and a USB port near our dinette table, and this in fact has both. And it will work for both the dinette area or even in your bed if you need to keep things charged up there. Now, the table will drop down and the dinette can convert into a bed, which ends up being about 5 feet 8 inches long. And I'm going to guess it's about 30 inches wide, which it is. So I would say, you know, a much smaller adult or certainly a kid would be able to sleep here. There is also storage under both of the dinette booths, and you would just have to remove the cushions, pull up the piece of plywood, and you'll have access to that storage space. Now, the TV location in here is right behind the dinette, and they've got this on the wall already mounted. There's another piece that just slides into this, and then you would mount your TV to that. Now, I can't find the piece. It's got to be here somewhere, but we're in an RV show, and they may have pulled it out so somebody didn't take it by accident or move it somewhere. This is much like a dinette setup where you would see in some of the RVs without a dinette, and this is mounted on the front of the couch, and then the pole mounts into that, and the table mounts on top. You've seen that in some of our other videos, maybe even another tour in this video, but that's where your TV would go. It's not a terrible location. You'll be able to see your TV from the bed and maybe from one side of the dinette, but you would need a pretty small TV to fit in this area. So here we are in the very back of this camper, right by the entry door. And I'm in the half of the bathroom that is the shower. Now, the shower in here, while I'm standing in the tub, you guys know I'm 5'11" and I'm about an inch away from the ceiling. So if you're taller than 6 feet, you will be crouching down while you're in here using the shower. Now, one thing I will say about the shower, it's got this, you know, incredibly cool shower setup. It's got like this big oversized square shower head. It's got these body sprays that'll spray right at you. And then it's got a wand that you can, you know, remove and use it however you would like. In my opinion, you know, this is really kind of low for a shower. Like, I'd have to crouch down really low to wash my hair under this shower head. Would work fine for Susan though. So it just depends how tall you are and what you like. Now, the other thing I'm a little perplexed about is that they have a sink in here for some reason. And I don't think I'm going to be like brushing my teeth in here or washing my hands in here. So I'm a little confused by where there's a sink. I know right now, I can tell you, I would just use this to hold my soap or shampoo and just keep the drain open and there you go. But I'm a little confused by that. Also in here, it does have a shower curtain. So the way this bathroom works is when you come in to take a shower, you would shut the door behind you, and then you have to pull the shower curtain around to keep water from hitting the door and then going out onto the floor in the hallway. I don't like shower curtains at all, as everybody knows that watches our videos. I would much rather see a retractable shower door in here, and it would be very easy to do that, and it would work much, much better than a shower curtain. So here I am across the hall from where the shower was located on the other side of the entry door. And this is just a toilet room. A water closet is what they're also called. The only thing in here is your toilet. When I sit on the toilet in here, it feels a little bit small and cramped. But the advantage to this style of bathroom, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is that somebody can be using the the toilet and someone else can be taking a shower at the same time. So it definitely has that advantage. Now, the toilet in here is kind of far from the back wall, so there's a lot of storage space behind me that's not being utilized. And so if this was my camper, I might buy a cabinet or a medicine cabinet and at least install that on the wall behind me to pick up some extra storage space in here. There's one other thing to note, and that there is no sink in this part of the bathroom. For some reason, it's located over in the shower. So after you use the restroom, you would need to use your kitchen sink if you're going to wash your hands. This is a big item of debate in our YouTube channel and also in our Facebook group, which, by the way, we invite you to join. It's called RV Camping for Newbies. And man, there are a lot of opinions about whether or not a bathroom should have a sink or not. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and let us know how you like this camper in general. We'd love to hear about it because it's got such a different floor plan to it. So anyway, as far as the elbow test goes in this bathroom, it's not gonna pass. Hey guys, let us know which one of these campers is your favorite and why in the comments down below. We love to read all your comments and see what you like and don't like about the campers. If you want to see more campers under 20 feet long, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.